All right, good morning and welcome everyone to the Strong Families, Strong Communities Virtual Conference. My name is Sharonice Wilkins, and in this session is starting the conference off by highlighting 6 wonderful family science interns who focused their efforts this semester on community resources. We'll start with a bit of housekeeping. This session is being recorded, and we ask that participants keep both their audio and video off during the presentation portion of the session. This will protect with bandwidth and hopefully prevent potential issues with lagging. We have several great interns to hear about, so let's get started. Our featured intern presenters are Kimanisha Anderson. She did her internship at the CAPS Disaster Hub. Shaquita Babin, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. She interned at the Rally Up. Miss Lori Carnes, she interned at the LU Resiliency Think Tank, along with Mr. Gerardo Martinez. And Kaylee McCain, she did her internship at the CASA of Southeast Texas, along with Miss Lauren Smith. First, we'll start by viewing the video reports that they have prepared for us, followed by a question and answer where we will be able to ask focused questions about their specific internship experiences. Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
We cannot hear the sound.
CAPS Disaster Hub is a community-focused organization dedicated to disaster preparedness, response, and recovery. The hub provides resources, training, and support to help individuals, families, and local organizations build resilience against natural and man-made emergencies. Through partnerships and outreach, Disaster Hub promotes proactive planning, efficient response strategies, and long-term recovery solutions to strengthen community safety, and well-being. A simple day in my life. I assisted with preparedness workshops, organized outreach materials, communicated with community partners and leaders. I also did data tracking and reporting and event planning support. My strategic plan objective: increase disaster preparedness awareness through community training, engagement, and outreach initiatives. My outcomes: increase disaster preparedness awareness within the community, in emergency response skills, boost participation in preparedness events and workshops. My metrics: residents trained in emergency response was 75 to 100 individuals per quarter. Preparedness workshops conducted 6 to 8 per quarter. Event participation rate 20 to 30% increase per event. Attendance tracked, 100% of events documented. Survey feedback collected, 80% response rate with average rating of 4.5 out of 5. I'm highlighting my two favorite artifacts. The first one was a flyer template for the organization. My second one was a resource guide used at all workshops. So the flyer, the important thing about the flyer was Dr. Simeon wanted a flyer that we could plug and play because we have so many workshops that we do throughout the year. So it's easier for us to have created a template to just plug and play, be able to the organization or the group that we were hosting the workshop for. In this case, which was one of my favorites, we did the church rating for preparedness disasters, and the church loved the flyer. And then I got to introduce my favorite part of the workshop, which is Al the bear. He's our he's our buddy for our kids. The second thing was an organizational community plan toolkit. It was a very extensive and very tedious process to put the organization plan toolkit together, but it was a big hit. And with the work of the with Dr. Simeon and the other board members, I pretty much did a pretty good job, I believe, in putting together this toolkit. So it's I use it all of the workshops. My reflection: I gained hands-on experience in disaster preparedness and response, strengthened communication with staff, volunteers, and community partners, learned importance of timely, accurate information during emergencies, observed impact of community-based disaster services, resilience, assisted with workshops, outreach events, and preparedness activities. My most powerful memory: supporting families during a community outreach event, improved organization and coordination of resources and information, developed teamwork and problem solving skills in real world situations. My special project, of course, was contributing to the disaster preparedness training materials. I am so very grateful to Dr. Joyce Simeon for her guidance and mentorship. Thankful to the CAPS Disaster Hub team for their warm welcome, valuable learning experience that supported my professional growth and development. And you see the beautiful picture of Dr. Simeon and I. Also, a special thanks to Dr. White for allowing me to step out and do something that I had never had any, not interest in, but I had never had any real feedback on before. So with her allowing me to do this internship, I really gained a beautiful, beautiful friendship with some of the people that I worked with. And I got to learn a lot about emergency response and how to effectively put together a resource. So thank you, Dr. White.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shaquita Bass, and I had the opportunity to collaborate with an amazing organization called Rally Up for my internship. Rally Up is a community-based organization they support families and individuals with resources such as family life skill education and also community resource guides. Their main goal is to help individuals and families become more stable and self-sufficient, all while supporting the needs of the community. Rally Up services the Waller County area as well as the surrounding areas, which could fall under Northwest Harris County as well. A day in life of my internship at Rally Up, one of the things that I was charged with that I was really excited about, and it was a great experience, it was to help develop a webinar for the Family Life Skills program. In that webinar, we talked about family and life skill topics, such as communication and financial planning, things like nutrition, all of those things that can help a family thrive. We also created a resource community guide as well. It's a one-page document to where individuals can look and they can find everything from housing and food and medical, different things that would support them and help them when they were experiencing different challenges. We also went on site visits as well to different organizations that was listed on the community resource guide, just to get a feel for and to see and make sure that the company provided the resources that they said that they would. So we wanted to firsthand go out and check some of them to make sure. It was a great experience. Two artifacts that I would like to highlight. One was a community letter writing event that was hosted by Rally Up. It was for the Campfire Absolutely Incredible Kids Day. It's where we invited the community to come out and write letters of encouragement to kids that lived in the South Texas region, the Beaumont area, to provide them with encouraging and uplifting letters. The children that received those letters were children that were experiencing housing insecurities. So that was something really good to do and to get the community involved in. And I want to say we collected over 100 letters for that event. The other artifact that I wanted to highlight was the Family and Life Skill webinar. It was a success. It was a great experience. And we were able to provide individuals with really great information, things that we learned through life and also things that we learned through family science and family studies, what we actually studied in school. So that was really great to see how everything that we learned in school and through life, how it can be beneficial to help families as well when, they need assistance and when they need help. My reflection statement. This internship has really helped me personally and professionally. I feel like I gained such incredible confidence as far as speaking and also leading and just having a better understanding of being able to assess the needs that families may have. The most powerful moment for me was presenting the webinar and seeing the engagement from those that showed up. And also it just showed me that my work really could make an impact. So that was very great. Acknowledgements. Oh, wow. I don't have enough time to thank Nicolette, but I really want to thank her so much for her guidance and her patience and just her genuine support. She created a space where I felt seen, I felt encouraged, and also heard. She pushed me to grow, and just the knowledge that she shared with me and the real life experience, it really helped me understand this work on a much deeper level. I am truly grateful for the opportunity and the role that she played in shaping my growth. I just want to thank her and say I'm really excited to see what the future of Rally Up looks like. You did an amazing job with me and helping me with this internship. I just want to say thank you. And I want to thank everyone else for joining in today. And I just want to thank you and say have a great day.
Hello, my name is Lori Carnes, and this is my video presentation for my internship with the Resiliency Think Tank for the spring semester of 2026. My internship consisted of me creating ideas and goals that I could use to better help those within my community. One of the things I put together was a meal bag. The meal bag would consist of a recipe card, a list of all the ingredients, and the average cost for each ingredient. The reason I included the average cost was this would be able to give the families a better way to budget for their meal and make sure that they were prepared for when they went to purchase their food. I also created a National Nutritional Awareness Month newsletter that was featured in my local newspaper and was distributed to the businesses throughout my community. Being that these were distributed to the businesses throughout my community, it gave community members the option of taking this with them so they would have an additional knowledge and educational facts around our nutritional awareness that needs to be brought to more family homes. I've also attended multiple webinars and training sessions online so that I can better educate myself and develop better resources that I can produce among my community for the family members. So my current job is I work for the Texas Health and Human Services Commission, and I am what they call an eligibility advisor. So what I do is I help community members determine if they would be eligible for any type of food assistance and or medical insurance assistance. If for some reason they are not eligible, I've come up with a community-based program list that offers them different things that they can use to help them within the community if they're not eligible. That could consist of different recipes, information for our local food banks, or the meals in the bag that I previously discussed, and ways to help shop and prepare for those meals. I take a passion in helping community members, especially for these community members who I've known for most of my life. Being born and raised in where I work has made it a lot more enjoyable, and it's well worth every minute of the day. So a couple of things I put into my strategic plan was I wanted to be able to help out among my community. So I have been helping at our local food bank, which meets every third Saturday of the month. We prepare boxes of nutritional items that are non-perishable, that are beneficial to families who may not have the means of purchasing the food items. And then I've also volunteered some at our Experienced Citizen Center, which we prepare 3 meals a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, giving our experienced citizens the ability to come out, eat a meal, enjoy some company of others, and still get a nutritional meal throughout the week. Another one was also the Pregnancy Awareness Center. We offer educational services for women who are expecting. We also offer different items that are needed for the pregnancy and even for after they've had the baby. A lot of that is donated items from our community, which consist of formula wipes, diapers, strollers, bassinets, car seats, and everything is always donated as brand new. And so this gives our women who don't necessarily have the means to purchase everything that they need, they have a place where they can go and do so, and it doesn't cost them anything. I also like to help with our Chamber of Commerce, who hands out pamphlets to our citizens of different things that are offered within our community that can help them besides just applying for government assistance. So to me, it's been very successful. I've enjoyed all of it. The food bank and the Experienced Citizen Center have been a joy. I love being able to see the smiles on the community members' faces when they are receiving help that they were struggling to understand if they were going to get. I think it's kind of funny because at our Experienced Citizen Center, we don't like to call them senior citizens, so we call them experienced citizens. And just listening to some of the stories and some of the things that they talk about while eating can be pretty comical. And so it makes it worth it to see those smiles and those conversations and those just maybe an hour of not having to worry about how they were going to get their next meal or if they were going to have money to purchase food and things like that. We don't realize just how much of that is going on in our communities these days. During our internship, we have also been asked to create different lab artifacts. I have to say my favorite one of all was the meal bag. I loved preparing the different recipes and preparing the ingredients list and being able to discuss this with the community members when passing them out, and just knowing that I'm helping them feed their families. One that I like to highlight is the National Nutritional Awareness newsletter that was featured in our local newspaper. The reason for this and why I choose this as one of my favorites is because We have a lot of people in our community that are homeless, that are trying to raise children while being homeless. And so knowing that I can give them a little piece of information that helps them be a little bit more educated in nutritional foods that they might not be aware of is something that I take very good pride in. I love my community. I love my family. I love everyone that has taken part in this with me. But the meal bag, I would have to say, was my absolutely most favorite, and it was very successful. During this internship, I have been able to do a lot of reflection of success. Feeling of success is because I'm helping my community. I know I'm helping those families who are struggling, knowing that I'm helping people that have been in my life from the day I was born. Being from a small community, that's always been a pride that I've taken, is having that connection with those that are in my community because I've known them for so long. I wish this is something that I would have done way sooner than now, but it's something that I look forward to continue doing even after my internship is over, and continuing to make those memories with my family members. So I would like to take a moment and give a big shout out and a big thank you to Dr. White. She has been my go-to throughout my internship, and I have been privileged to work alongside her and have her feedback or positive criticism throughout this internship. I will be able to take so much with me once I'm done and implement that into my current job, which will also benefit in the future in advancing in my career. I look forward to the future, and I am so excited about what's next in this chapter.
Hello, my name is Kaylee McCain, and this presentation is about my experience with CASA, which stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates. CASA is an organization that supports children in the foster care system by advocating for their best interests. They make sure children have a voice in important decisions, especially in court and throughout their case. I chose this internship because I'm passionate about working with children, especially those in foster care, and I wanted a real experience in a field that connects with my future goals. CASA is a nonprofit organization. During my internship, I learned that CASA plays a very important role in the foster care system. Many children involved in foster care have experienced trauma, instability, or changes in placement, and CASA helps provide consistency and support. Advocates work with the court system and caseworkers to ensure that each child's needs are being met and their voices being heard when decisions are being made about their future, such as living arrangements, school placement, and overall well-being. My internship was primarily virtual due to CASA Southeast Texas having some building renovations done. However, I also had some in-office exposure, which gave me a good balance of learning both remotely and in person. I also got to meet with my internship leader, Alexis, at least once a week. One of my main tasks was developing a community resource guide. This involved contacting different agencies and professionals to gather accurate information about resources available in Southeast Texas. I also attended and observed team meetings, which helped me understand how staff collaborate and discuss cases and responsibilities. In addition to that, I completed transcription work and assisted with filing when I was in office, which helped me better understand the administrative side of the organization. I also spent time engaging with staff members to learn about their daily roles at CASA and gain insight into the different positions within the organization. Overall, this part of my internship helped me see how many different tasks and roles work together to support CASA's mission. One of CASA's main goals is to ensure that children in foster care receive strong, consistent advocacy so their best interests are always represented. The organization focuses on improving outcomes for children by connecting them with trained volunteers who can support them throughout their case. During my internship, I contributed to this mission by completing assigned tasks and supporting the organization's goals in different ways. I learned that even behind the scenes, work plays an important role in helping children receive the support that they need. Part of my strategic plan was increasing community awareness and making sure people understand the role CASA plays in supporting children and families. I contributed to this objective in several ways. For example, I created brochures and handouts that help educate both the community and families entering CASA care. I also created a social media post to help bring awareness to CASA and the services they provide. Through this experience, I learned that even though my role was not directly working on cases, the work I did still supports the bigger mission. Every task, whether it was creating resources, spreading awareness, or organizing information, plays a part in strengthening the support system for the children in foster care. As a part of my time with CASA, I worked on lab artifacts that reflected my learning and contributions. Two of my favorite were a general CASA brochure and a brochure specifically designed for families entering CASA's care. The general CASA brochure I created is to help educate the community about what CASA is and what the organization does. It provides a clear overview of CASA's mission and the important roles advocates play in supporting children in the foster care system. The second brochure I created focused on families entering CASA's care. This resource was designed to help guide families through what to expect and to provide helpful information during what can be a very overwhelming time. In addition to these artifacts, I also worked on a community resource guide. Although I was not able to fully complete it during my internship, I'm still proud of the work I completed. The resource guide focused on identifying services available to families in Southeast Texas and involved reaching out to different agencies and professionals to gather information. Through this process, I realized there are many untapped and often unknown resources in Southeast Texas that can greatly benefit families if they are more widely shared and accessible. Overall, all these projects help me apply what I've learned in a real world setting and show me how important clear communication and accessible information are when supporting families and children involved in the foster care system. This internship was a very meaningful experience for me. One thing that really stood out to me is how much a difference CASA can make in a child's life, especially for children who may not have consistent support elsewhere. This experience also helped me grow personally. I became more independent, more confident in professional settings, and more aware of how communication and empathy are in this field. I would like to thank CASA and staff for giving me this opportunity. Even though this internship has had its challenges, it's helped me grow and confirm my passion when working with children in foster care. I also wanted to give a special acknowledgement to Alexis. It was really inspiring to work with someone who is so young and already doing such an amazing job. Seeing her passion and dedication made this experience even more meaningful for me and motivated me to continue pursuing this field. Thank you for watching.
Hi, my name is Lauren Smith, and I am a marketing intern for Shore Key Center in Beaumont, Texas for the year 2026. Today, I'll be sharing an overview of my internship experience, including my responsibilities, goals, and what I've gained from this opportunity. During my internship, one of my main focuses was building knowledge of child therapies. I did this through research and assessments, which helped me better understand services like speech, occupational, physical, and ABA therapy. This knowledge was important because it allowed me to create materials that are accurate and helpful for families. Another key part of my role was exploring community resources and needs. I conducted research and gathered feedback directly from families to learn more about the challenges they face and the support they are looking for. This helped guide the type of content and resources I support and participate in community events and outreach efforts. The experiences allowed me to connect with families and organizations while developing my communication and collaboration skills. A typical day in my internship involved a variety of tasks. I often worked on brochures and handouts, as well as creating and editing social media posts and other information materials. I regularly communicated with members of the community and coordinated with others within my organization. In addition, I spent time researching child therapies, community resources, and specific needs while completing assigned projects for the day. Through these daily responsibilities, I was able to create and share informational materials designed to educate the community. At the time, I strengthened important professional skills in community engagement, marketing, and resource development. At the beginning of my internship, I created a strategic plan. My goal was to develop lasting and meaningful resources through community engagement while building key marketing skills and gaining knowledge that would enhance my future employability in the field of child therapies. One example of this in action was gathering input from the community through an online forum. Members participated in polls and also shared additional comments, which provided deeper insight into their experiences. The data collected helped identify common challenges, and the percentages highlighted the most frequent concerns amongst families. This information was valuable in shaping the resources I created. In addition to this, I designed a social media monthly campaign for World Autism Acceptance Month. Through this campaign, I provided the autism community with helpful resources and important information while also producing content with long-term value beyond my internship. I also created posts that highlighted key services offered at Shorkey Center. Throughout the process, I focused on balancing creativity with content that was informative, purposeful, and meaningful for families. Reflecting on my internship, I am proud of the contributions I've made. I was able to create meaningful resources that will continue to benefit the community, and I designed marketing materials that help inform families about available services. I also gained a better understanding of community needs related to child therapies and developed a stronger awareness of the services that are available. This experience contributed to both my personal and professional growth and strengthened my approach to supporting children and families. Most importantly, this internship confirmed my passion for working in this field and helped me feel more confident in my future career path. Lastly, I would like to express my gratitude for the advisorship and support I received from Julie O'Malley at Shorkey Center. She has been an incredible source of guidance and leadership, always taking the time to help me learn, grow, and build confidence in my role. Thank you for your time and listening today.
Board for Q&As. So if I can have Miss Kimanisha, Shaquita, Miss Lori, and Miss Kaylee, Miss Lauren Smith, can you all turn on your cameras for me,
Ship
please?
know that no order is ordinary. When you order produce, ship sees the meat.
I want to ask everyone else to keep their cameras and their mics off. And you guys can use the raise hand button to ask any questions. I'll go ahead and start with the question for Ms. Kimanisha. You did your internship at the CAPS Disease Hub? I'm sorry, Disaster Hub. What is
Yes.
something that you learned during your internship that was unexpected?
One of the things that was unexpected was the relationship that I've grown, that I've made with the community people, with the community leaders, as well as the people that live in the communities. I didn't expect to have a soft spot for them in the end. I went in thinking I was going to collect data, I was going to put it into a database, and that would be the end of it. I didn't know that we had bi-weekly events and workshops, and most of the same people were there. So in the end, I made a lot of friends.
Okay. So would you say that it also helped change your view on society?
Absolutely, yeah. When you have a natural disaster, or case in point, Hurricane Harvey, you don't expect to, you kind of make sure that your own family is taken care of. A lot of people, they do talk to their immediate neighbors, maybe left and right, but you don't expect to go out into the community and see what else everybody else needs. Um, that was kind of something that was a little foreign to me because I was making sure that my family was good. So in the midst of this, hearing everybody else's stories and even how some of them still have not recovered from Hurricane Harvey, it kind of put a soft spot on me. So that was the best part about working with the CAPS Disaster Hub.
That's crazy. That's good. Anyone else have any questions? Danielle?
Hi, so I was curious about that internship too. What are the types of like different types of disasters that they prepare for? Like obviously like hurricanes, but like what are the other ones that they are like prepared for?
We prepare for fires. We prepare for in this climate.
a lot of people don't have access to fresh fruits and vegetables because of the farming situation. We prepare for those things. We have we bridge the gap between the community and your food banks, or the community and the churches, and or the community and another community center. Well, they'll be able to, go to them and get a hot meal. We also prepare for when people are displaced, domestic violence situations where someone needs to, leave the home with their children or just them by themselves. We also prepare for when someone loses their job and they have a family and they need to relocate. Those are the type of disasters that we consider disasters. Like it's either natural or man-made. So we prepare for all types of things. We have so many different contracts in place throughout the county and throughout the neighborhoods that we can, like I said, bridge those gaps between those people and those community centers.
Oh, that's cool that y'all do like y'all have like a variety of stuff that y'all do. That is so do y'all have like a team where like say like a natural disaster happened, do y'all have like a protocol for like how y'all would hub up and like do different things like an immediate like if something went down, y'all have like a plan?
Yes, so that's the
Oh,
point of
nice.
so we create that toolkit that I was talking about, the
Mm-hmm.
a resource guide that I was so happy to create for the people with all the tedious findings. So across the board, there's about 6 board members, and each board member has a specialty, and they have a team of people that they work with from, under each disaster. So if there's a fire, let's say I'm on the team with the fires, that's my forte. That's the situation that I would handle with my board member and my team.
Oh, that's so cool.
Brianna.
This question isn't specifically for anybody. I just wanted to ask, did anyone go in not really knowing what to expect, or not really, this is not really what I wanted to do, but once you started doing it, you kind of got more into it and decided this might be what I want to do in the future? Or is this like something that you always wanted to do? And it's even, and doing this solidified that I'm going to try to do this even more now.
I went into CAPS. This is not something that I planned to do. So that was the cool part. My goal was to become a teacher and a principal later on. But then I realized that like little children go through these disasters as well as the adults, the parents. So like having this knowledge kind of, I feel like it'll tie in really, really well. I'll be able to know how to maneuver those situations as a teacher and a principal when a child does come and say, hey, I didn't get to eat last night, or hey, I don't have clothes because our house burned down, or I lost something in a flood. I feel like I became more interested in the CAPS Disaster Hub as I found out like how strategic everything was and like the things that actually happen that we don't have control over. It kind of just tied it in for me. So I feel like this knowledge that I learned with the internship will definitely help me in the end with my own mission and my own goals.
I would have to say it was the same for me as well. Going in with Rally Up, it wasn't something that was, I would say, was planned. I didn't know that the organization existed. I didn't know, anything about it. But I must say, after, doing research and, creating a webinar, something that I was terrified to do, by the way, it just really stretched me beyond what I thought I could ever do. So it was really amazing. And it also helped deepen my love for community and resources and things like that. To where, like you said, I was thinking about, okay, I'm going to teach and, I'm going to stay in education. Now I have the mindset of not only do I want to just educate children, I want to educate families as a whole. So that's something that I look forward to doing to continue to work on as well.
My next question is for Miss Lori Cardenas. I was really curious about some of the meal plans that you did create. I was wondering if you could share some of those. Okay. Well, a more general question for you all who are present and presented. What is one lesson that you will carry with you into your future career?
I can go. I can say one lesson that I would carry with me into my future career is that impact is not always seen right away. You know, during my internship with Rally Up, I learned that even doing work behind the scenes, like creating resource guides and sharing information, those things, even though they seem small, they can really make a difference in someone's life. I also realized that, you know, resource guides and things like that that you help create, they will be used far beyond your time with the, you know, intern and just reach people that you may never meet. So that just shows me that, you know, the work that we do and the work that we did with our internships will have a lasting impact. So that was something for me.
Yes, and with that, I want to congratulate you, Ms. Kimanisha, on your artifact being shared throughout the whole everybody else. Like, yes, that's congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Um, one thing that I
Let me see.
oh no, go ahead. I'm done. Go ahead.
Go
I
ahead,
thought you
go
were
ahead.
good.
No,
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 I'm
no, I want to hear it. I want to hear
I'm
it.
good. I promise. Go
What's
ahead.
one lesson that you will carry with you into your
Okay.
future career?
That I did care. I'm sorry. That everybody's situation doesn't look the same. And everybody's not comfortable coming to you when something's wrong physically and emotionally. So I had to keep my eye out on the people that I thought that just didn't want to talk. They were just scared and they just needed to make sure they could trust us because we were asking for very sensitive information from them. So I learned that everybody's not being mean. They have to trust you, especially after something happens that's traumatic. Okay, I'm done.
Yes, that's really important right there. Is that's a common misconception. Like, and a lot of people are not. They're more so frightened by the resources that are available. Okay, my next question for all of you is, what advice would you give to future interns?
One thing is to just be open to where you are partnered with. When, okay. So one thing is just be open-minded to the internship that you're paired with. Like me and Shakita said, we did not have any idea what we were going into with the organizations that we were paired up with. But in the end, we learned a lot of things and and now we're open to tying it in with our actual career path. So just kind of trust the process. Sometimes you have to be uncomfortable to learn something new. So that's the piece of advice I have for everybody.
Just to piggyback off what she said, most definitely stay open-minded and just be willing to learn, you know, especially when things don't look the way that you expected it to look. You know, your experience can be different than what you imagined, but that don't mean that it won't be meaningful. But something else that I really want people to remember is that the work that you do, it matters. You know, whether it's something, you know, big or if it's something small. And also too, sometimes the people behind the scenes as well, you know, they make the most impact, you know. So no matter what task you're tasked with, big or small, just know that the work that you're doing still make a difference.
It does. I appreciate you for that.
And
Well,
also be ready to get
I'll
out
go
that
ahead and
comfort
wrap
zone.
up this session.
Be ready to get out that comfort zone because you will
You're
most
right.
definitely be stretched, but it's worth it.
I think you have to get out of the comfort zone in order to grow. I mean, so I'll go ahead and wrap up the session now. Thank you to all of our participants for asking really great questions, and a big thank you to our wonderful presenters for sharing your internship experiences with us. When I end this session, you will be back at the conference Welcome Center where you originally entered the session, and I encourage you to review the conference schedule and join the other sessions that are available. I will be moderating the third session as well at 12. And thank you all for joining us today, and I hope to see you at the next session. All righty, thank you all. Stopping the recording.